Irish UFC fighter Conor McGregor has visited the White House where he met with Donald Trump, and he was there for St. Patrick's Day, and he insisted that his country is at the cusp of losing its Irishness.
Did you know the Irish government declared Conor McGregor doesn't represent Ireland just hours after he confronted Keir Starmer at the White House? The panicked response speaks volumes about what truly happened when these two figures collided on the global stage. McGregor didn't just attend a ceremonial event. He used his platform to challenge Starmer directly on immigration policies that are transforming communities across Ireland and Britain. As rural towns feel the impact of what McGregor called an illegal immigration racket, this confrontation represents more than just a celebrity outburst. It's the voice of frustrated citizens finding an unexpected champion. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Was Keir Starmer caught in a blatant contradiction about free speech in the UK? The shocking confrontation between a political insider and a fighter known for his unfiltered opinions has revealed uncomfortable truths about the state of expression in Britain today. During a recent White House gathering celebrating St. Patrick's Day, UK Labour leader Keir Starmer made a bold claim to Donald Trump, asserting that free speech is alive and well in the United Kingdom.
And highlighted, it's also St. Patrick's Day, so a little bit of celebrations for sure, and a little bit of learning and listening to Mr. President Trump. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, whose work ethic is inspiring. And all that does to me is highlight the lack of work on my side. So that's it. That's what I'm here for.
It was a confident statement from Britain's opposition leader, but one that immediately raised eyebrows among those familiar with the UK's increasingly restrictive approach to public discourse. What Starmer didn't anticipate was that his polished political rhetoric would be directly challenged by someone with nothing to lose. UFC superstar Conor McGregor, also present at the White House event, wasn't about to let such a misleading characterization go unchallenged. Unlike the politicians in attendance, McGregor operates outside the boundaries of political correctness and establishment niceties. The Irish fighter immediately contradicted Starmer's rosy picture, pointing out that free speech in the UK is under serious threat. McGregor highlighted how numerous British citizens currently face legal consequences simply for expressing their views, a direct refutation of Starmer's sanitized portrayal. One particularly damning example McGregor raised was the case of Tommy Robinson, currently imprisoned for speaking out on issues that powerful politicians would prefer remain hidden from public view. What makes McGregor's intervention so powerful is his insistence that light is the best disinfectant when addressing topics the establishment deliberately avoids. This simple statement cuts to the heart of the matter, the growing divide between official narratives and reality as experienced by ordinary citizens. While Starmer offers carefully crafted reassurances,
we consider America our big sibling, so it's important for Ireland to have be a peaceful, happy, prosperous country for the 40 million Irish Americans to have a place to visit.
We couldn't think of a better guest to have with us on St. Patrick's Day. We're both wearing our green. This was not planned, but very festive. And as you know, I'll be having a briefing later at 1 o'clock, so we'll talk more about their meeting later.
So we wish for our relationship with the United States to continue, and we wish to be taken care of by the big bro. The United States should look after its little bro, and that's how we feel.
Designed to placate concerns, McGregor's approach strips away the political veneer to expose uncomfortable realities. The contrast between these two figures couldn't be starker. Starmer represents the epitome of the political class, measured, calculated, and strategic in every public utterance. His statements about free speech reflect not reality but a preferred narrative. one that conveniently overlooks the growing list of prosecutions for social media posts and public comments that fall outside acceptable opinion. McGregor, meanwhile, speaks with the directness of someone who hasn't been trained to obscure truth behind diplomatic language. His communication style, blunt, sometimes abrasive but authentic, resonates with millions who feel politicians like Starmer have lost touch with everyday concerns. When McGregor speaks about free speech restrictions, he's not theorizing. He's identifying patterns that many citizens recognize from their own experiences but rarely hear acknowledged by those in power. What gives McGregor's perspective additional weight is his position as a significant employer in Ireland. As he pointedly noted when government officials attempted to dismiss his concerns, he provides livelihoods for nearly 300 people. This connection to economic reality grants him insights that career politicians like Starmer, who often move from university directly into politics without significant private sector experience, simply lack. McGregor understands how government policies impact real businesses and real people, not just how they perform in focus groups. His observation that, in 10 years, Dublin's city centre has gone from one of the most safest cities in Europe to one of the most dangerous highlights this gap between political messaging and lived experience. While officials tout progress and positive statistics, McGregor speaks to the reality many citizens face daily.
You know, our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland? I'm here to raise the issues that people of Ireland face. You know, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country.
A reality increasingly at odds with the picture painted by their representatives. The confrontation between McGregor and the political establishment reveals something far more significant than a celebrity spat. It represents the growing frustration among ordinary citizens who feel their genuine concerns about immigration, safety, and freedom of expression are routinely dismissed or demonized by those in power. When McGregor speaks out, he gives voice to this widespread sentiment. Perhaps most telling was the Irish government's immediate response to McGregor's statements. Rather than engaging with his specific points, officials swiftly declared that he doesn't represent Ireland, an attempt to delegitimize his perspective without addressing its substance. This reflexive dismissal perfectly validates McGregor's central point about establishment figures silencing dissenting voices. By attempting to strip him of credibility, rather than addressing his arguments, they demonstrated exactly the tendency he was criticizing. What we're witnessing isn't just a spat between a fighter and a politician. It's a symptom of a much deeper societal fracture. Polling data reveals a dramatic collapse in public trust toward political institutions across both Ireland and the UK, with citizens increasingly feeling that their representatives live in a different reality altogether. The swift governmental backlash against McGregor perfectly demonstrates what happens when someone with a platform challenges the approved narrative. Throughout rural Irish towns, ordinary citizens express the same concerns McGregor voiced, communities feeling overrun by rapid demographic changes, while politicians dismiss their worries as bigotry. This disconnect explains why figures like McGregor, despite having no political ambitions, resonate so powerfully with the public. When establishment voices like Starmer present a sanitized version of reality that contradicts lived experiences, it's the unfiltered voices that gain credibility. The political class may continue their attempts to discredit these challenges, but their increasingly desperate reactions only confirm what many already suspect. The carefully constructed narrative is crumbling under the weight of uncomfortable truths.